So at the beginning of the story, a man in a bar is looking for a girl named Silver Bill. This girl is a spy, and this man needs her help to find her son Ki-hoon. This spy Silver Bill is no one else but Chio-k, which we had seen in the last season. A lot of time has gone into the story. But Chio-k is still so young, because Nijin monster ran into her body in the last season, whose strength kept her young till now. And apart from this, there were other superpowers too. In other words, she is some percentage of Nijin monster. And trying to hide her old identity, so she has changed her name. Well, the scene cuts and we see a biker chasing a man, who in the end, becomes successful in killing a biker by causing him to have an accident. When he takes off his helmet, it turned out that this was none other than Tae-sang, our hero, and this was a flashback scene, where Tae-sang is now shown to be dead. Now in season 2, we meet his look-alike Hojae. Hojae is also a spy like Chio-k and works for Young-k. Young-gil is Tae-sung's friend's grandson. Hoo-ji comes to a hotel to investigate a case. But by mistake, he went into the wrong room. He went there and found Ki-hoon dead. Ki-hoon is the same person whom Chio-k has to find. It was seen in the flashback that some people are after Ki-hoon. He came to this hotel and hid himself, but people were after him to kill him, have come here too. We aren't shown the man who killed Ki-hoon, but was definitely saw that the person who killed him had tentacles instead of hands. It clearly meant that the man is a Nijin monster. On the other side, the police also arrested Hojae. Because after getting the news of the murder, Hojae was in the same room by the time the police got there. He was accused of the murder in this way, because H0J works as a personal investigator. The police already knew him. He assured the police that he had gone for some investigation, but the police asked for proof. The police inspector told him, okay, I will give you the time, you can catch the real killer within 10 days, find him, and I'll leave you. During the investigation, the police also found that Ki-hoon is the man who died, was a guard of Gyeongseong Biotech Company. Now, we see the Gyeongseong Biotech Company's building. This institute was made inside the Gyeongseong Hospital. In the previous season, Nijin monster was made there, then by forcibly putting Nijin monsters inside the prisoners, they were made monsters. Ki-hoon's dad, who was very saddened by his son's death, he gives the investigation of his son's death to Chio-k. Now Chio-k and Hoo-ji both are looking for killers. In the hotel footage, Chio-k sees Hoo-jae. She thinks him a killer and starts following him. The same thing happened with Hojae. When Hojae looked at the footage to find the killer, he sees Chio-k and he considers her as a killer. Now he wanted to go after Chio-k too, and also wanted to investigate all this case. While Young-gil, his friend, doesn't want to help him in this all. Not only he wanted to distance himself from the matter, but also wanted to keep Hojae away from this as well. But Hojae had to do an investigation to save his life. Young-gil remembered the promise he made to his grandfather. And he goes with Ho-ji. Young-gil has an investigation about Chio-k. He gets to know that Chio-k looks at the sunset on top of a building every day. Ho-jae goes after Chio-k from there. While at Chio-k's house, we got to see that the killer entered Chio-k's house to search for it, where he got the pictures of our hero Tae-sang. And he was shocked to see them. The scene cut and came back to Chio-k and Hojae. Hojae attacked Chio-k, and she also fought for her defense. Both of them fought for a long time. When Chio-k suddenly saw Hojae's face, I don't know what happened to her, she hugged him and started crying. After seeing this, Hojae also had strange feelings. As if he knows this girl, he has a deep relationship with this girl. He too was surprised to hear Tae-sang's name from Chio-k's mouth. We are again shown Gyeongseong Biotech Lab, where the doctors are still doing experiments on humans. It can be seen that a patient was left in the cage of the Nijin monster. What happened to that patient was not shown. But the scene cuts and we are taken to flashback. We see Chio-k again. It is shown how Chio-k got infected by her mom's Nijin virus. She too became a Nijin monster. When she regained consciousness back to the human condition, she was found among the dead bodies. 2 children were also there, begging her for their lives. She gets scared, and when she runs away from there, she finds more dead bodies on the way. She realizes that she is the one who killed them all. Knowing this, she has gone back to her home in fear. After some days, it is known that Korea gained independence from Japan. That is why Taesang was very happy. Cheo-ok comes to Taesang. She wanted to meet him too, because she knew she was an agent monster. She was afraid that she might harm Taesang. Without meeting Taesang, she distances herself from him. The scene shifts back to the present, where Cheo-ok meets Hojae at this time. She thinks that Hojae is a killer, but he removes her misunderstanding that he is not a killer. Cheo-ok already knew, because when she saw Ki-han's dead body, there was a hole in his eyes and his brain was missing. Only Nijin monsters used to eat the brains. Cheo-ok understood that the Nijin monster is the one to kill him. But she doesn't get how after so many years the Nijin monsters are back? And how are they killing humans so fast now? Hojae tells Cheo-ok that I also have to find the killer. Let us both solve this case together, but Cheo-ok refuses it at this time. Cheo-ok has called Hojae as Taesang many times. He was confused as to who Taesang is? He went home and asked his friend Yeong-gil, "Do you know Taesang?" By hearing this name, he was so confused, as if he knew a lot of things but wanted to hide it. When Cheo-ok reached home, she also saw that the sketch of Taesang was no longer in her drawer. She was very upset, and she understood that someone had come to her house and was following her. Now the killer who stole Taesang's sketch came to Madame Na, Cheo-ok's boss, and tells her to do an investigation about Taesang, who has been missing for the past year. Madame Na handed over the task to Cheo-ok, and as soon the killer got to know this thing, the killer killed Madame Na without thinking anything. In the same way as he killed Ki-hoon. The body showed that there was a hole in her eye, and her brain was also missing, i.e. this killer was a Nijin monster. Cheo-ok had come outside Madame Na's bar. She saw the killer. And now she is trying to follow the killer to catch him. Later, we are shown that Cheo-ok is also chasing them, because even when he was talking to Detective Nu, he received the news of Madame Na's murder. Madame Nu, at that time, was showing him the pictures of those murders, which were shown in the same way. It means they all were killed by a Nijin monster. Finally, Cheo-ok was successful in catching the killer while running. She was looking at the killer, and the killer realized that Cheo-ok is also a Nijin monster. Knowing that, he can't leave Cheo-ok alive. He stabs his tentacle in Cheo-ok's stomach and tries to kill her. Before Cheo-ok dies completely, Hojae came there at the right time. Seeing this, he stood there shocked and worried. The killer ran away from there, and he brought Cheo-ok to the hospital at the right time. Cheo-ok's bracelet is left in Hojae's hand in the hospital. Hojae wanted to meet Cheo-ok, but Cheo-ok went out from the back gate after getting treatment. The scene cuts from here, and we see the chairman of Gyeongseong Biotech Company, who is quite angry at Sunjo, because he has done a lot of murders. That is, the name of the killer is Sunjo, and he has a deep connection with Gyeongseong Biotech. The captain beats him up a lot, to convince him to stop murdering. In response to which he asks a new question: is Taesang still alive? It is seen here that Hojae came to another lady to get information about Cheo-ok. The old lady called him Taesang after seeing him, and he was surprised. He asked her who is Taesang. She changed the topic and said, "You are also very open-hearted like Taesang. And your office is also above Taesang's old store. That's why the name came out of my mouth." Inside the biotech company, we see that the chairman is scolding Captain Koriko, because what he has experimented on is out of his control. The chairman threatens him that if you do not bring it under your control within some time, else we will have to replace you. From the flashback, it is revealed that the Gyeongseong company had implanted the Nijin monster inside Captain Koriko, so that their company continues to run. Here we see that now, Hojae has come to his friend Yeong-gil. He is asking questions about his past, as he doesn't remember anything about his past except for last year. He may have had an accident. Yeong-gil told him that it is good if you don't remember your past. It was all very scary, you just lived today. Those people were still talking. Their door knocked, and Cheo-ok came there to find the killer with Hojae, who was actually Sunjo. Sungjo was hiding all the stuff that he had taken from Chioke's house. In Sungjo's drawer, we see the picture of Myongja, Lady Mayeta's husband's wife. Lady Mayeta, in hatred, implanted the Nijin monster inside her body. When she was pregnant and when her son was born, her Nijin monster was shifted to her son. It means Sungjo is the son of Myongja. Yeongil is shown to have a call from a lady named M. She is an old lady and her face is not revealed. Who is she, and what she wants from Yeongil, will be known later. While on the other hand, we see Chioke, whose condition is very bad. At this time, she was wounded. Whenever Nijins are wounded, then they need human brains to heal them. Before she could hunt down any human. Keeping control over herself, she came back to her home and injects some serum inside her that makes her feel much better. After she regains consciousness, she notices that the bracelet given by Tae-san is also missing from her hand. She reached Hojae's home for the investigation of her case. In Hojae's house, we see that Madame Nu has turned on a microphone while talking. As these two started talking to each other, Madame Nu heard, but this did not benefit Madame Nu much, because both of them are talking in code words. Chioke tells Hojae that you should call on Madame Na's number, because this time, Madame Na's cell phone is with the killer. We see the killer, that is, Sungjo, in the lab, who is wandering around the office of Captain Koriko. And this thing makes Captain Koriko angry. Well, Sungjo receives someone's call in the meantime. It was the Hojae on the call who fixed a meeting with Sungjo. At this time, Chioke was also with him. These people decide to meet the killer together. All of their conversation that Madame Nu was listening to, she too had decided to follow them. In the evening, they along with Yeongil, reached the mentioned place of the killer, Sungjo. They had some strange vibes here. Before they could think of something, a lot of Nijin monsters attacked them. That is, the killer had called both of them as a trap here. Before Yeongil comes to help them, Sungjo comes in front of them and stops. Chioke wanted to fight all these monsters inside the building, but she does not want to tell her truth to Hojae. So she pushed Hojae first and threw him down from the building, so that she can fight after being free. As soon Hojae falls down, he finds Yeongil faint, and he sees Sungju as well. He asked him about the murders he had done. They begin to fight in the meantime. Hojae is being beaten up, because there was a Nijin monster inside Sungju. It is seen that the monsters have made Chioke unconscious with nitrogen and brought her down, where Sungjo stabs Chioke with his tentacles. Seeing this, Chioke gets a vision, at the time, when her mom stabbed her by a monster. All this actually happened with Tae-sang as well. And this clearly means that Hojae is none else but Tae-sang. It is obvious that he is still quite young. At this time, all the people who are young, just because of being infected by the Nijin monster. Does Tae-sang has the virus inside him? Is he also a Nijin monster, and how this Nijin monster come inside him? This whole story will soon be revealed. Before Sungju kills Hojae, he sees a mark on Hojae's neck. Looking at which, he got confused and started going from there. He knew that as much as he had hurt Chioke, the monster inside her wouldn't leave him alive as well. The injured Chioke was in a very bad condition due to hunger, and she immediately needed a brain to heal herself. She starts running away from here to avoid any murder. Hojae quickly goes and hugs her, because now he remembers his past memories. Chioke told him to stay away from her. Suddenly both of them fall unconscious. When Hojae regained consciousness, he was taken to the hospital. Madame Nu was also there in front of him. Madame Nu tells him that according to the police, Yeongil is attacked in a murder attempt, and the blame goes on Hojae and Chioke. There is a print of the two of them over the existing objects. As soon as Hojae learns that Yeongil's health is quite bad, he insists on meeting him. He was not allowed to meet anyone. The scene cuts and we see that the chairman of a biotech company is sitting with the old woman and giving her the details of her experiments, while outside a woman is standing there listening to all this. The police were also still on the murder side, where they found a nitrogen can with a label of the Gyeongseong Biotech. The police tell Madame Nu to discharge Hojae and bring him to the police station, but before this Sungjo reaches Hojae and tells him about Chioke, who was enslaved in the basement of Gyeongseong's building. According to Sunjo plan, Ho-jae leaves the hospital and reaches Yeong-gil. To ask him why he was knocked unconscious by hitting me with a bat? Who did this all to you? Who is Chae-ok? All these questions been roaming in his mind? Yeong-gil tells him only one thing, that you don't go back to your old life. Before he says anything else here, the doctors come, and Ho-jae has to go because of this. The scene is cut and we are shown Gyeongseong Biotech Lab, where Chae-ok's scan has been observed. One thing in the scans of Chae-ok and Sungjo were different and matched each other: the Nijin virus of both of them was in the backside of their minds. Mostly, the Nijin virus occupies the upper area of the human brain. This meant that these people got very mature Nijin viruses. The thing we know is that both of them got their Nijin viruses from their moms. We see Chae-ok locked in a cell. A man named Dong-hyuk's cell is near to her cell. The boy tells her his story, that he has come here in greed for treatment, and we're told that they will be given water to drink. 10,000 yens will be given to everyone's family as soon as they drink it. There was a large amount, and if the experiment becomes successful, then all these handicapped people will be completely fine, normal. Dong-hyuk said that in front of him, all his companions died, and he survived and was brought here and imprisoned. Chae-ok looked at him carefully. There was also a Nijin virus crawling on his neck. Seeing this, she trembled with fear that these people are still doing experiments on the Nijin monster. We see that Ho-jae is now back at home. He found a picture in the luggage of Yeong-gil in which he was standing. He was accompanied by Yeong-gil's grandfather, Yeong-tae. He was surprised to see this, and he started remembering my old memories. He started missing his old team. And suddenly he felt there could be something behind this wall. When he removed the wallpaper, there was really a whole shop behind him. This is Tae-sang's old shop, in which used to buy and sell people's valuables. He got a lot of his fake IDs in one of Chae-ok's old posters. In the first season, Chae-ok had fled after committing a murder. Now before he recognizes everything, Sungjo reaches there and a fight starts between them. These people were fighting, and Madame Nu also came here chasing them, but Madame Nu was not able to get hold of these two. They might had fled somewhere. Sungjo took him to a big tank. We are shown Nijin virus moving inside this tank. He tells Ho-jae to go there and be like before. The scene is cut and we are again shown Gyeongseong Biotech Lab, where Captain Kuriko is now with Chae-ok. He told the whole truth to Chae-ok, that this lab is still old and doing the same work as before. That means it is experimenting with Nijin. And its founder is none other than Kato and Lady Mayeda. This time, the chairman is Kato's son. After that, Chae-ok was picked up and brought to Lady Mayeda. We see Lady Mayeda behind the old woman, who is as young and beautiful as before. Although her whole face was burnt in the bomb, even her body was burnt. But Kato had promised to fix her. By seeing her young, we can understand that Kato has inserted Nijin virus in her body. Because she is still young, beautiful too, and has many superpowers too. The scenes go into flashback. Some scenes after season 1 were shown. When Lady Mayeda is well and she goes to Tae-sang again, to try to be friends with him. She still loves Tae-sang but he rejects her love. He asks her to go back to Japan. On hearing the refusal, Lady Mayeda can't control herself. She got very angry. She got all the companions of Tae-sang killed. She attacked Tae-sang with her tentacled hands, and made his condition bad. Then a Nijin virus was put inside him as well. That was the reason that Tae-sang was still young. He is also living with his fake ID like others. But some time ago, because of the accident, he had forgotten his old life. The scene shift to the present, where Chae-ok does not know the truth about Ho-jae. But Lady Mayeda tells her that actually Ho-jae is real Tae-sang. After that all, Chae-ok is taken to the tank of Tae-sang. There was a Nijin virus inside the tank, and Tae-sang was put inside that tank. Chae-ok wanted to stop him, she was screaming loudly, but Tae-sang can't hear her voice. It was seen that Nijin virus has again gone inside Tae-sang. It is the same virus, and as soon as it enters his brain, all the memory of Tae-sang has also come back. After the accident, this Nijin virus has come out of his mind. He has lost his memory as a side effect. His memory returned and he remembered everything. We see that Sungjo, on the pretext of fighting Tae-sang, give him a way to meet Chae-ok. While fighting, Tae-sang came in front of Chae-ok. But Tae-sang by mistake stabs Chae-ok by considering her a guard. Before something happens here and these people were caught, with the help of Sungjo, both of them managed to escape from here. Now why is Sungjo helping them? This mystery will also be revealed. Now, the scene is cut and we are shown the same old lady, whom Tae-sang went to get information about Chae-ok. She calls the police inspector and tells him that Ho-jae can't do that, all these are murders. Because Ho-jae is the real Tae-sang. After this, the scene shifts to the past, and we are shown Sungjo's past. It is seen that Lady Mayeda, who has a Nijin virus within her, has adopted Sungjo. Sungjo doesn't know the truth about himself. When he was young, one day, he went out of control and he murdered a maid. He stabbed his tentacles in her eyes and ate her brain. Lady Mayeda supported him and hid his crime. At the same time, he commanded everyone to not tell anyone about this. Since that day, Sungjo began to listen to everything what Lady Mayeda said. Taking advantage of this, Lady Mayeda and Kato also used to do experiments on him. From the words of Kato and Lady Mayeda, Sungjo realizes that he is not a special child Lady Mayeda adopted. Rather, he is an experiment of theirs. He has got a matured Nijin virus from his mom. Because of this, he can also transform himself into a Nijin monster. Even after knowing everything, he didn't reveal anything before Lady Mayeda for a long time. And acted in front of her as if he agrees to everything she says. And Lady Mayeda is her mom. The scene shifts into the present, and we see Sungjo having breakfast with Lady Mayeda. Lady Mayeda asks Sungjo about the meeting that he had with Tae-sang, but he didn't tell her anything. Then Lady Mayeda gives him an injection like a pen, which makes him a little nervous. Sungjo gets up from here to the biotech lab. He goes there and frees Dong-hyuk. He frees that monster, who has still not learned to control himself. This boy goes to the subway station and murders many people. Soon this news spreads. After this, Sungjo comes to Chae-ok and Tae-sang, and he confesses that he is the one who got this work done. He wanted to expose the evil deeds of Lady Mayeda and Kato. He wanted to take revenge for his mom, but this time, Chae-ok doesn't believe his words. The inspector at the police station also knows that the man behind the murders was not Tae-sang but Gyeongseong Institute. The inspector also remembers the meeting with the old lady, who told him that Tae-sang is not behind these murders, and you stop targeting Tae-sang. Didn't you remember how much Tae-sang helped you? He had saved your family too. After that, now she sends the inspector to find her grandson, who has been hired for a special experiment at the Gyeongseong lab. As soon as he was hired, he got 10,000 million yens in his account. After which she has no whereabouts of her grandson till today. In the present, now Tae-sang calls the inspector and informs him that his memory has returned. He also tells him that behind all the murders, the Gyeongseong Institute is involved. In the institute, we are shown that the chairman put all the blame on Captain Koriko. That he must have freed Dong-hyuk. But Captain Koriko says, I think Lady Mayeda is behind all this. Because she is after Tae-sang, and she must have used this trick to trap Tae-sang. Here Captain Koriko tells him that Kato has given my Nijin virus to save this company. If I had to kill Lady Mayeda, or even Kato, to save this company, I will not get back to this. The scene is cut and we are shown that Tae-sang is now coming to the station to meet Dong-hyuk. Sungjo wanted to come but Tae-sang forbade him. Before he could meet Dong-hyuk, the entire team of Gyeongseong Institute surrounded him. This time, the team of police is also with Tae-sang to catch Dong-hyuk from the subway station. The police have his arrest warrants, while Captain Koriko brings a new warrant. This warrant came from the higher authority, according to which these people could have taken Dong-hyuk away from here. Because he was infected from a very dangerous virus. If he had stayed outside, then he could have harmed more people. The inspector cannot get Dong-hyuk, after which the inspector leaves from here. Regardless of whether the Tae-sang was there. Captain Koriko after kidnapping Tae-sang, and injected something in his neck. When they did this at the subway, they also made the camera footage disappear. When they injected Tae-sang, instead of leaving him, he took him in his van somewhere. When Chio-ok found out, she started following them. Detective Nu was chasing with Chio-ok. Sungjo was also chasing them. When Captain Koriko learnt that many people were following him, then he sent his whole team, his all cars around to distract them. Chio-ok chased the van, and the rest of them chased the other people. Sungjo tells Chio-ok a past memory. He remembers when Tae-sang wanted to destroy the whole Gyeongseong lab. Sungjo was willing to support Tae-sang because understood him and gave him the love that no one had given him. Then when Tae-sang needed him the most, he was back because of Lady Maeda. He is still regretful of this. Probably because of him, this lab is doing these evil deeds. He assures Chio-ok that now he wants to destroy this lab. Chio-ok asks what happened that you didn't go to help Tae-sang. Then tells her that Lady Maeda knew that I'm helping Tae-sang. Lady Maeda had kidnapped me, and by injecting a solution inside me, she put my Nijin to sleep for a day. My powers were over, so I couldn't help anyone at that time. Lady Maeda, on the other side, got Tae-sang caught, and then removed his Nijin virus from inside. This was the reason that he had lost all memory, and now when all of his memories came back, it was because of the Nijin virus. That Sungjo has returned to him. The scene comes to the present, where Sungju is telling everything to Chio-ok, but suddenly he crashes his car, in which he himself was there and Chio-ok was there. Later, he injected the same solution into Chio-ok's body too, which made her Nijin virus sleep, and now anyone can kill Chio-ok. On the other hand, we see that Captain Koriko is now torturing Tae-sang. The scene shifts to the past and we see Captain Koriko's past. To fix his girlfriend, he was asking for only 3 mothers. Captain Koriko wanted to inject Dong-hyuk's mature brain Nijin virus into your girlfriend's body, which makes her feel well and she can control her monster version. The scenes again shift to Chio-ok and Sungjo, where it is revealed that Sungjo is still helping Lady Maeda. Lady Maeda actually wanted Tae-sang to kill Chio-ok, so her ego could be consoled that Tae-sang killed his lover, and he could get back to Lady Maeda. Because this could not happen now, he retrieved his memory. So Sungjo was about to do this task. Before Sungjo kills Chio-ok, Detective Nu comes and shoots Sungjo's eye. He was too injured and was to leave here. Then Lady Maeda's people also arrived to kill her. What hurts him the most, that his mother, for whom he was taking so many risks, wanted him to be killed. We watched the fight between Captain Koriko and Tae-sang. Tae-sang wants to escape from his clutches, and while fighting, Tae-sang wins. And he takes the injected solution from his hand, that can put the Nijin monster to sleep. Before he injects this injection into Captain Koriko, Captain Koriko gives him an idea. He tells him, to keep this injection safe for Lady Maeda, it will be useful for you. During this time, Captain Koriko receives a call from someone. And he learns that Lady Maeda has made Dong-hyuk kidnapped, into which she injects Nijin virus, and lets it mature. He had to inject the same matured Nijin virus into his girlfriend, but now he had no mature Nijin, to fix your girlfriend. He goes to Lady Maeda for a new deal now. The scenes are shifted to the flashback where we are shown that as soon as Tae-sang lost his memory, Yeon-gil was begging Lady Maeda for Tae-sang's life. He assures her that he'll never tell Tae-sang about his past. He would never let Tae-sang interfere in his work. In the present, Yeon-gil also regained consciousness. As soon as the inspector came to know about this, he immediately went to meet him. He wanted to record his statement, but he was kidnapped on the way. Later when we were shown to the inspector after being kidnapped, he was in a cage. Not just him, Yeon-gil and Dong-hyuk were also in the same cage. Lady Maeda and Tae-sang are shown here. Lady Maeda has set an experiment for Tae-sang there. On the side, it is shown that Captain Koriko is busy bringing out the Nijin monster inside Chioke, so that he can use it for his purpose. Captain Koriko had made a deal with Lady Mayetta. Lady Mayetta had given him the idea to take out the monster of Chioke, after which Chioke should die. Then Taesang comes to her. Before Taesang could kill his own friends, he remembers the injection that Captain Koriko gave him. He quickly injects this injection into Lady Mayetta, and then tries to save his friends, who were brought and thrown near the Nijin monster. He fights the monster by using his intelligence. He brings out all three companions from this place. Now, the monster in front of him already knows that this is a hidden human inside him, who knew his pain and his feelings. He stands here to make him free. He controls his mind through his telekinesis powers. Seeing this, Lady Mayetta learns that her purpose is no longer fulfilled. She immediately throws nitrogen gas into this place, and makes the unconscious, due to which the monster faints. And Taesang gets enough time to save Chioke. When the inspector and all of Taesang's companions got out of this place, then the inspector saw a man's watch, and recognized that it was one of their men, who was actually with Gyeongseong's institute. He was the one who helped Lady Mayetta in kidnapping the inspector. He understood that their intentions were very dangerous, immediately asks Detective Na to have warrants for the closure of the institute. These people investigate this place a lot, but in the end, they don't get anything from the lab that could help them to close this lab. In the end, the lab opens and the inspector gets very upset, because he knew the truth. Well, it is shown that Sungja is with her mom, i.e. Lady Mayetta. He somewhere loves Lady Mayetta like his mother. But Lady Mayetta told him, "I never loved you, you were the son of Myongja, how could I love you? But I knew the virus inside Myongja has become very dangerous. Now the same virus was inside you and you had some extra abilities, so to use you I've had kept you with me for so many years." After hearing all this truth, Sungja was completely broken. He obeyed Lady Mayetta's words throughout his whole life, as if he were her servant. But he did all this out of love. Now all his emotions were over, then he stabbed Lady Mayetta, and threw her into the container of the monster. Lady Mayetta died by burning due to acid coming out of the monster's body. After all this, we see Taesang, who was still trying to save Chioke. He returned to the biotech lab to save Chioke, where he saw that Chioke had been put into the container, in which after inserting it from their body, the Nijin virus comes out. He doesn't want the Nijin virus to remove from her body, because if that happens, she will lose all of her memories. But he became unsuccessful. As soon as he reached there, the virus had gone out of her. She was a normal person, also she had lost all of her memories. The tank that Taesang broke and had tried to save Chioke's life, because of the breakdown of the tank, that Nijin monster also died. Now, Captain Koriko doesn't have any mature monster to fix his girlfriend. Mature Nijin is not happy with his girlfriend. When Chioke lost her memory, she could not recognize Taesang again. She is away from love once again. Taesang told the old lady to take care of Chioke, whom we have seen this many times in the season. Chioke leads a normal life and also goes to college, where Taesang comes to see her every day. Talking about Gyeongseong Institute, was still working secretly. Lady Mayetta had died, but now Sungjo was secretly running it. He was giving all the instructions to the chairman. These people now put a Nijin virus inside lot of mineral water here. Later these bottles are shipped. With the mystery, how much will this virus spread, and how much damage will it cause? This season ends here.